Hello there, my awesome followers of my blog type thing. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've made a video, but I have been in a play. I was main character in the play Twelfth Night, and which really kind of ruined a lot of the things that I wanted to do, because I had to memorize a lot of, for me at least, a lot of lines. And well, I wanted to memorize some surahs, and I moved to a different state, so I mean it's becoming increasingly harder for me to get to the mosque that I go to, but I have gone. I went yesterday actually. Um, I also wanted to show you a few things that I got from, I think it's like 1-800 like Islam or something like that. I'm not really sure. It's like um, I called them up and I said a few things, and generally they send things to non-Muslims for information about Islam. And I told them that I was raised Christian and I wanted to know a little bit more, so they sent me a Quran, of course, and I really like it. It's straightforward. It's not like the old English type thing, which is great. I love. This book is the Global Messenger, which I haven't necessarily looked at yet, but it talks about Muhammad, the messenger, the prophet, and the I don't know how to say it. It's Muhammad is Islam's prophet, so I don't know. And then there's this one, which is Clear Your Doubts About Islam. So it's 50 answers to common questions. So this one's going to be very useful. So I just think it's really funny that they just sent me these books for free. They also sent me a CD of lectures, which I'll be listening to. A thing that I've been doing recently that I haven't done before is praying before I eat. And generally, Muslims just say Bismillah or Bismillah Rahman Rahim, and a lot of the times I'll forget in the middle of, maybe I think it's generally dinner. I forget because I'm for supper I'm very hungry and I forget. But in the middle in Islam you can actually say just you can, once you remember, even at the end you can just say Bismillah. Thank God for you know giving me this food and all of that kind of stuff. Whereas other people I know have to like recite a bunch of stuff, and all I have to say is Bismillah, which is great. Even though actually I say more than that. I recite the first surah, Surah Al-Fatiha, and it's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdini siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. And it's like Ghaya Mektubi Alahim, and then like I always forget that last little bit, so I need to remember that. Um, let's see. I went to the mosque and prayed last night, and it's surprising. Like I actually praying, just the act of praying. I've gotten the when to bow, when to um, like what is it called when you like when to get on my knees, when to stand, and all of that, and when to like. There's a point when you have to point your finger to be like, there's only one God, the God. And then I've gotten all the actions, like the whole entire spiel of standing and all that business. I figured that out. All I need to do now is memorize all of the. See, what I've been working on is doing the act of doing it, which is awesome. That's a good start to learning how to pray. And then after that, memorizing what you're supposed to be saying in those parts. I've already memorized, the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka blah 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 blah. Memorize that. So that's part of it. But there's a bunch of other things I need to memorize for it. But like I was saying, it's actually amazing how good I feel and how relaxed I feel after praying. But an issue I have is apparently you're not allowed in a mosque if you, or I mean, you're not allowed to pray if you have your period. Sorry for people who are like sensitive about womanly issues and all that kind of stuff. But apparently you're not allowed to. And unfortunately, I've made that mistake twice already. And it's because you're not clean. Really, a lot of the times, another thing that you do, which I haven't really figured out yet, is you do this thing called wudu, I believe is what it's called. When you like you have to wash your hand a specific way and then like wash your body and like certain parts of your body so that you're clean before you pray, so you can be clean and cleanly in the house of God, and when you're about to talk to God and like pray. Um, and so that's another thing that has to do with that is it's kind of disrespectful because you're kind of dirty. But then again, I mean, I think personally, it would be bad of me not to pray, um, just because I'm sick. But then again, I also use that excuse when I'm fasting because you're not supposed to. Which is, see, a lot of people think because you're not allowed to, you're not supposed to pray because you're dirty. Um, is like this whole like feminist issue, and like I think the same thing. But then again, when it comes to fasting, and I found this out, thank God. Um, when you're fasting and you have your period, you actually are allowed to take those days off because it's unhealthy for you not to eat on those days and drink. Um, so Islam allows you to wait and make up those days later, which I have made up already, just so you know, in case you were wondering. I have made up those days and I feel fabulous because I have. It's also easier in the winter because it's less time to be fasting, I think. Um, but yes, um, it is an interesting fact. And I love that about Islam is that during the fasting time, um, you can take a few days off. Also, if you're just like sick in general, you can take some time off and then make it up later, which is great. And also, a few times when I was fasting, I had a drink in front of me, getting ready for that exact moment when I was able to take a drink or a sip of that drink, and I just accidentally, absentmindedly just took a sip, and I felt horrible because I was like, I just worked this entire day to break fast 10 minutes early, but in Islam, like when you're fasting during Ramadan, you are like if your body just actually just does it automatically, it means that God wanted you to, and it was permissible for you to do that. So I felt better after that. God is so forgiving, guys. It's great. It's ridiculous. So like I said, I have been moving, but in the meantime, I have not been forgetting about you guys. Really, I've been thinking about you all the time. Um, because I got this in mail, I decided because it's like kind of pocket sized. I've been bringing it around with me in my purse, and I've been reading it. And what is horrible, what's really hard is getting past the first few surahs because it's like um, getting through the it's like it's a very the first one's short. I have it memorized by in Arabic, and I can translate it into English. We already know this. I've covered that. The second surah, Al-Baqarah, is really and I've been getting through it. It's basically just like the nitty gritty. But what I have noticed is, let me see. There's a lot of times where it like says, "Remember when, like, O children of Israel, remember my favor that I have bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the worlds," um, i.e., peoples. Um, and it's interesting because a lot of people are like, the Quran is its own religion, blah, 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 blah. And like it has its own stuff. And yeah, it has its own stuff, but obviously in the second surah, it says remember, which means it's referring to the like Torah or the Bible and all of those things. It refers to a lot of that kind of stuff in here. It refers to like everything really, because I mean, it's not like they're denying that any of this stuff happened. They agree that it happened, from what I understand. It says also in Al-Baqarah 62, so Surah 2, and then um, verse 62, it says, "Indeed, those who believed and those who were Jews or Christians or Sabians before Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, those among them who believed in Allah," sorry, I lost my spot. "Those who believed in Allah in the last day and did righteousness will have their reward with their Lord, and no fear will there be concerning them, nor will they grieve." So basically, it's saying the Christians, the Jews, and Muslims, Sabians, if you believe in one God and you do righteousness and you believe in the last day, then you'll go to heaven. It's not saying that the Christians or the Jews or whatever will not go to heaven because they are Christian, kind of like, in Christianity, at least my mom believes, is that like if you don't believe Christ is the Son of God and you don't believe Christianity is like the right way, then you all go to hell. Um, it's not like that. It's, if you believe that God is the only God and that God alone is God and that there is no other like divine power, then and you believe in the day of judgment and you do good deeds, then you go to heaven. I try not to mark too often in here because I'm not really sure how I feel about writing in a Quran, but it's for purposes, good purposes, so that's okay. This is a good thing that I like. Righteousness is not that you turn your faces toward the east or the west, but true righteousness is in one who believes in Allah, the last day, the angels, the book, and the prophets, and gives wealth in spite of love for it, to relatives, orphans, the needy, the traveler, those who ask for help and for freeing slaves, and who establish prayer and give zakah, which is, I believe that's like money to the poor. Those who fulfill their promise when they promise, and those who are patient in poverty and hardship and during battle. Those are the ones who have been true, and it is those who are righteous. I love that definition right there. That's beautiful to me, of what righteous is. And that is Surah 2 Al-Baqarah, and it's verse 177. And it's exactly what I believe about religion. It is not if you turn your face to the east or the west and pray, even though that is one of the pillars of Islam, or praying 5 times a day. You can pray 5 times a day and be a horrible, unrighteous, like, pig. You can say you're a Muslim and follow certain things and then be a horrible person. To me, I believe, and I still believe, this is one thing that hasn't changed. I think it's interesting. I felt like putting this out there for the people who are like, all Muslims are terrorists. It says, um, and kill them in battle wherever you take them. This is like, and kill them in battle wherever you overtake them, and expel them from wherever they have expelled you. It says, okay, it says, fitna is worse than killing. Fitna is described as discord, dissension, civil strife, persecution, oppression, injustice, seduction, terrorism, trial, and torment. So it says that is worse than killing. So just for those who say that Muslims are terrorists, it says it right in the second surah. No terrorism. That is what I have so far from my notes while reading the Quran. I will have more for you soon, really soon, because I feel guilty that I haven't been talking to you guys, and I apologize. Maybe sometime in the next 4 days I'll give you some update, and I love you guys dearly, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys. Thank you for watching video 6. That is what I have so far from my notes while reading the Quran. I will have more for you soon, really soon, because I feel guilty that I haven't been talking to you guys, and I apologize. Maybe sometime in the next 4 days I'll give you some update, and I love you guys dearly, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys. Thank you for watching video 6.